Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk show. I'm your host, That One Rebel here. It's my talk show, Late Night Rebel, and we have our special guests coming out very soon here, Lanfear. But before I begin, before the interview starts, just to let you guys know, just a reminder that Lanfear is a mute, so obviously I sent her questions in advance via Discord. She then sent me the answers to those questions, so I'll be speaking for her. So I will be saying the questions, the camera will be on me. When I'm reading the answers to my questions, the camera will be on her, just so everyone knows. Anyway, without further ado, though, let me introduce my guest from behind the curtains, Lanfear. Woo! Well, welcome, Lanfear, to my talk show. Here you are. It's been literally a year since the last time I interviewed you. So, also Lanfear will be communicating via Twitch chat or Discord, wherever she prefers. But yeah, I'm very excited. So without further ado, let me start asking the questions. So the first question that I asked Lanfear, what got you to create a YouTube and Twitch channel? Any plans for the first stream? Lanfear responds by saying, I had a YouTube and Twitch account for quite a while, but never actually posted anything on them. I've always thought about making videos for a long time, but I never really had the motivation to do so, and it was never really a priority. I had a lot of encouragement from the community and friends for a long time to do so, and I recently decided to take that step. Joey, aka Nags, and Oathmeal have been major influences for me, and I wanted to reflect that in my videos. Tim Mack has been very supportive recently as well. In a way, I feel like I'm picking up where Joey's adventures left off, only from my perspective, which was actually something he mentioned himself after seeing the ending of the court video series. I have no plans currently to get into streaming, however, anything can happen in the future. And it's crazy because, to give an example, I remember when I first met you. We'll talk about this in a bit more in depth, but I've always been told by a lot of people that you never really were into YouTube or streaming at all, and always was interesting because most people that I met in VR chat eventually start streaming or doing YouTube and stuff like that. So meeting someone who's I would say an important person in this community who just wants to have fun, just be a part of the adventures, just to hang out, is very admirable. And I enjoy it. I like the fact that you want to start streaming or at least start doing YouTube and stuff like that. And you started doing some YouTube videos. You have your own Discord. I think that's cool. I think that's awesome. I'll be talking with everyone here. Yeah? All right, Lanfear. Next question. Oh, by the way, for some of these questions, I will have to play some video clips.
That's so nice of you. I'm a giver too.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Mariali Bynerd.
Hey, thank you so much for gifting that sub. I'm a really big nerd. I appreciate that. Anyway, so some of these some of these questions and stuff like that, I'll have to switch to my second monitor to play a clip. So this one I'll have to. So let me get that all prepped up. 1 second here. Gonna have to make sure I'm showing the right screen here. I don't want to leak anything. But, yeah, we're good. All right. So anyway, the question was, how was attending the music event virtual based in your experience with Slyfest? Lanfear responds by saying, they were absolutely amazing. I unfortunately didn't hear about them until the end of the events, but what I attended was so much fun. The worlds were beautiful and the music was fantastic. I'm really excited to see and participate in more events like this in the future. There's been a couple of other events since then, HorrorCon being one of them, which is a small horror-related convention that happened during Halloween weekend. The other bigger one that's currently going on or just finished up is Rain Dance Immersive. I managed to get into one of the interactive performances that was offered, and it was such a great experience. So to show this off, I'm going to switch my screen here. 1 second here. Where is it? This one. All right, here it is. So, this is what the clip is. Let me make sure it's all good to go. I think that's it. Let me go back here. This one. Whoops. Alright, we got it. This video clip was from one of the interactive performances I attended, which was an amazing experience. Absolutely. I think that's cool to have like an interactive like rain dance thing. I never really seen that before. In VR chat, the only person I've ever seen do something like interactive while dancing was neither. A streamer friend of mine who's also in Callus Row. He plays music and then like interactives and stuff like that. But I've never seen like a festival or performance that does that sort of thing. Whoops. Yeah. You're part of the show, can help direct it? That's awesome. That's cool. All right, next question here that I have. How was this year's Halloween Worlds? Example, Official Sans, Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted, and other worlds explored. Favorite worlds and any bad experiences? Lanfear responds by saying, this year's Halloween Worlds were smaller numbers than previous years. However, what was released were extremely well made and fun. I know a number of projects were delayed or even canceled due to bugs or parts of the worlds breaking, which has been demotivating for some. The preview of Official Seance Five Nights at Freddy's World was so impressive. There's a lot to do in there, and it scared me more than I thought it was going to. You can easily spend a few hours in there playing around and trying to collect everything. I love the worlds that were released. Halloween is always a highlight for me. I can't wait to see future projects from the talented world creators we have in our community. Hey, shout out to Legends. But yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool worlds that came out this Halloween. I checked out some of them off stream. I need to stream them at some point, probably when I do a waifu adventure or something. But there's definitely some cool worlds out there that people have created and designed for Halloween. So I think this year, I don't know if I really want to compare it to like other years, but definitely there's some cool stuff, 100%. I'm just excited to see what other people make with like Udon or 3.0 or 2.0 and stuff like that. So because it's only still pretty new. So I think next year we're gonna have even more crazy like worlds and avatars. So that's what I'm more excited for. Next question. How was your experience with the Devouring? Anything you really enjoyed and or disliked? Lanfear responds by saying, the Devouring is one of those experiences you always remember. I was so impressed by how smoothly it worked at launch. You could feel the labor of love with every aspect of this world. The praise it has gotten as an experience is well earned and deserved. I wanted the Devouring adventure to be my first video when I made the decision to take the leap, and I'm extremely happy with how it turned out. I liked just about every aspect of the world. The environment was very ominous, kept me in a state of unease. The different ghost interactions were varied, and each offered a different experience. The water ghost really highlighted the anxiety of being chased, the mist ghost for jump scares, and so much more. What I disliked were the distraction objects that didn't really have to do anything to do with anything, but waste your time so mean. Also, the mannequins, I hate those things. I think for me, the mannequins were the worst part. I don't like mannequins, so that was terrifying for me. Anything that's sort of like, what are those things called from Five Nights at Freddy's, animatronics or whatever? I don't like that shit. So anything that's close to that, mannequins, that terrifies me. Lanfear says, I'm really excited for the future worlds to come too. Anxiety was very high for those parts. Absolutely. That was like the worst. I kept dying. I did the I did the venture with Fia, who runs the virtual reality show on YouTube. Shout out to her and her boyfriend Proto. He's a EDM artist, I think. And then we did it with another friend, and we kept dying over and over and over. But that mannequin part was like the worst, honestly. We also wasted a lot of time on the useless parts because like we thought like the gears would like work downstairs in like the water area, but actually they're just a waste of time. So, rip. Anyway, next question. Predictions for VR in the future, like the next 2 to 3 years. Would it be more haptic or actual mocap suits? Lanfear responds by saying, "It's hard to say exactly the direction VR will go or even how long the development process will be. We have seen more wireless or mobile headsets being made or developed this past year, which I haven't personally followed myself as I'm interested in the higher end PC headsets. I'm not sure if it will be in the next 2 to 3 years, but haptic suits seem to be already making progress, which I'm sure will help with development or future ideas. Mocap, I imagine, will be later down the road. I think I remember seeing something about a controller alternative that fit more like a glove. What's important is when these will be affordable and supply for everyone to have and see more of, like how full body became common." You mean in VR chat, yeah. Hold on, let me take a drink for a second. But yeah, I agree 100%. I think that I've already started seeing some interesting things with like VR and mocap suits. There's a person called, I think her name is Code Miko or Maiko. I mispronounced that, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, she's a Twitch partner streamer, and I think she designed and made like her own game or something like that. But she does like VR stuff like an avatar, but she just wears a mocap suit like from the neck down. I don't know how she captures her face, but it has like face tracking on it and everything. And like she wears like a mocap suit, and then like she moves around and does stuff. So it's actually really, really cool. Also, thanks all for all the follows. I appreciate it. She made everything on Unreal Engine. Yeah, that's what the person I'm talking about. So I think in the future, or at least like with as the advancements come on, like or progress in the next couple of years, I think we could definitely see some sort of like replacement for like the knuckles or index, whatever you want to call them, to be like actual gloves. Maybe, I'm not sure. I don't know. I started seeing like some development for that. Seeing this become index becoming wireless, I can definitely see that next like year. More tracking, better trackers, because right now we just have pucks that like sort of like guess where our hip is or guess where our kneecaps or elbows are, but definitely I can see in the future some better tracking. I'm excited to, sorry, Lanfear says it's exciting to see the direction things could go. That could be so nice, not having to use these bulky controllers. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it's crazy to think that even 5 years ago it was just Oculus or whatever, and then like 15, 20 years ago it was like the Virtual Boy, and that was like a stupid gimmick thing. And now we have like full body, and we can do this and stuff like that. So who knows what we could do in 3 years or 5 years, you know? I definitely think that VR will become more and more affordable and much easier to use, and definitely I was easily in the next 10 years easily that like it's affordable to everybody in their household, just like getting a new console to get like a mocap suit and just be like, you know how they use mocap suits to like do video game recordings or like movies and stuff. I could definitely see that being like something you just put on and you're just like in the world in VR and just messing around. 100%. I'm calling it by 2030. Anyway, next question. How was your merch store been? I saw you selling mouse pads and poster prints. Lanfear responds by saying, "I don't actually have a merch store as of yet. That's something I might look into the future, but I would have to buy commercial rights for a lot of my current art pieces or commission new ones, and that could be expensive. What you're probably seeing has been giveaways or prices that I've done. The most recent was my Halloween costume vote, which the winner got a body pillow." Okay. No, the reason why I asked that very specific question was because on Rob's stream, like he sell like one of like Lanfear's like shirts or something like that. As like it literally says like Lanfear or something on it. So that's why I was asking. Well, thanks so much for all the follows, guys. Appreciate it. All right, that was a limited time Lanfear Gator shirt. Yeah, there you go. See, I watch things. I know what's going on. Anyway, next question. The outfit made by MDG, how did you come up with the design and thought process? Lanfear responds by saying, actually, Gideon came up with the idea himself. I believe he said he had the inspiration for it one day when he was looking at my current outfits. Used assets and ideas from those to create the outfit you see today. The skirt and boots are from my previous outfit that Gideon made. The idea for the top was from my red sweater. And from there, Gideon created something that has become my favorite outfit to use and wasn't even planned. In fact, my previous outfit he created was also an idea, he got after seeing a similar outfit in a movie and approached me with the general idea and if I'd be interested in the commission. Well, I think that's awesome, you know? He also asked, Lanfear also said he asked me the idea and thought it was neat. Yeah, I mean, like having ideas for posters or merch, or for example, now with, this outfit that's made by Gideon, I think that's really cool, I love seeing people be creative, create avatars, especially from scratch, it takes a lot more time and effort to do so. And I love seeing unique things, right? You've played it more than I have in terms of VR chat, and when you see like the same outfits, the same bases and stuff like that, it kind of just like, everything becomes a blur at that point. But when you start seeing someone like step out from the fold and start making like custom outfits that you've never seen before, then it just becomes an interesting, more cooler experience. And it also makes it so like I don't even have to have nameplates on when I join a lobby. I can just be like, yes, that's Lanfear. I can recognize them. I just wish like, I guess it kind of is right now. Like you can definitely go to a lobby like of my friends or something like that, and I can definitely play without nameplates. But there's definitely some times where like some people might use like the same base or the same face like a million times, and I get it that not everybody can afford from scratch or know how to do it. I 100% get that, but I do wish that maybe as time progresses, more and more people go towards more unique designs and aspects because it makes everyone look different, right? Lanfear says it's easier to associate them with the avatar they are using. Absolutely. Absolutely. Next question. Since playing VR chat, have you picked up learning or an interest in ASL, which is American Sign Language? Lanfear responds by saying yes. As I was mute, I explored other ways of communicating with people, and I became interested in learning ASL. I started looking up videos about certain words or phrases and incorporated that into how I communicated. You would probably remember me doing so during the crossover RP. That was Chips' RP Season 4 of the Club Rogue. That was like 2 years ago. After that, I met a really sweet person named Ray is Deaf, who was a mute themselves, and they helped teach me a lot. I don't use ASL as much anymore because I found that there aren't a lot of other people that understand it, so it's very situational. It is another language, so you either know it or you don't. There's the additional limitations with VRChat controls too. I found simple words or phrases can help a lot, but you shouldn't overlook all the other ways to communicate. Absolutely, I actually know Ray is deaf as too. I haven't spoken, or should I say communicated, with him for a while because he's just doing his own thing. But I think he's an interesting individual. And I did think about bringing him on for an interview. I'm fully aware that he is deaf, so I would have to have someone to be a translator or someone who knows ASL really, really well, be able to communicate properly. But I want to take that challenge, right? Because I don't want to exclude someone just because they can't hear, right? I want to include as many people as I can for my talk show. I think that would be really interesting to do. Absolutely. I think that's what Lanfear said. So I need to keep saying that so because people are going to be watching the VOD, they don't, Anyway, Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's interesting because I want to take challenges, right? Like, when you do a traditional interview, people talk back and forth. But me interviewing mutes or wanting to step into interviewing someone who can't hear, who is deaf, like I want to do stuff like that because it's something different. It's a challenge, and I want to include more people on my talk show. Anyway, next question. How did you come up with the idea of the worlds made by legends? Neko Cabin World, Beach World, and the Boathouse. Lanfear responds by saying, the Boathouse was actually a weekend project for me after I saw the asset I had, the vision for a world I wanted to make with it, an all-in-one homeworld that was optimized and scenic. Legends help with a lot of the lighting, visual setup, and settings, optimization as well as adding assets from the cabin. The beach world was an idea I had for a long time I wanted to get done after seeing the lack of good beach world options. I wanted to give something back to the community. How the world ended up was through a lot of discussion back and forth from with legends. My initial idea, I had four general ideas. I had. I have a stutter problem sometimes. Uh, how the world ended up was through a lot of discussion and back and forth of legends. My initial idea, I had four general areas I wanted. From there, we just bounced ideas off each other until it was done. There is an update planned that will offer a new night mode. The cabin was inspired from other cabin worlds. I had seen One Christmas from there. I thought more about what I wanted. Eventually, I approached Legends with the general concept. From there, we had a lot of back and forth, and the cabin evolved into what we have today. Rebel getting mixed up. Listen, all right. Sometimes, it is what it is. That's what I have a drink next to me for. The cabin is among my most favorite creations. That's what Legend said. The cabin turned out better than I pictured, Lanfear says. I agree. I think I've seen a lot of people use the cabin world, not just for parties, but just like social gatherings. So I think in general that it is a really good world. And I imagine myself maybe wanting a home world like that. Maybe not a cabin. My like vision of a home world that I want, because my home world right now is 2 years old and I haven't been updating it because I'm just lazy. But I'll probably get someone like Legends or someone else to do it. Maybe Snowbreeze. I don't know. Somebody who knows how to make worlds. I'll just pay them. But I thought about getting like an apartment, like a penthouse. It wouldn't be like too big or fancy. I just want to have like a personal space that I can just like, when I go home, and then maybe invite a couple friends to like hang out with. That's all I really want. Maybe to occasionally have like a party of like maybe a dozen or less. Legend says it's one of those projects that I think I could only make like that once in Rebels World 2. Actually, the cabin world is closing on 1 million visits, on track for it by the end of the year, I believe. That was my boathouse world, was a home world. That's what Lanfear says. Yeah, absolutely. A million visits on the cabin world. It's crazy. That means a lot of people enjoyed it. It's a good world. It has good lighting. It has like Halloween, Christmas theme, stuff like that. I think it's really optimized. I just think it's a good world because it has a lot of space too. I think a lot of worlds struggle with spacing, right? You have like too many people clustered in one area. It has a lot of different areas. You can go like the hot spring area. You can go upstairs. You can go into each bedroom. You can go to the cherry blossom tree. You can go outside. There's a lot of different areas. If I was to update that map or add something, I'll maybe add like a cellar or something like that, like a basement. That's the only thing I would ever change or like want added, but you don't have to do that because I feel like you could probably add another like downstairs area for like, I don't know, if you want a beer pong or something. It offers a lot too, different raid settings, as Lanfear says. And yeah, it has a lot of good art too. All right, next question. Your thoughts on the Golden Gator RP for the past few months with all the contests and events. Lanfear responds by saying, I've been having a lot of fun with some of the stories that happened recently. The light improv RP moments and seeing friends. I'm looking forward to some possible future arcs. I think the contests and events are great and hope those continue, get more varied and exciting for everyone involved. Lanfear says, I try to keep my most recent art up in my world to show all the beautiful work the community has been making. And I agree. I think that's great. I do that in like this world too. So a lot of the artwork is from over the past like year and a half, and I still have a lot more space for more art in my own talk show world. But anyway, yeah, I think like there's a lot of fun stuff to do with the Golden Gator. You know, there's a lot more events. There's like the game nights to the Tuesday, Thursday RP nights, the Friday drinking lobby. You know, there's so many different things that Rob does in his community. It's really awesome to give something back. You know, murder mystery. They do all those different events. It's really awesome, really cool. And can't wait to see what the future holds. You know. Lanfear says, I had a lot of energy drinks that night, so I was a little all over the place. Oh, sorry, I missed something. My bad. Lanfear says, there's a current arc with Snowbreeze that developed one day from untying one of her shoelaces. Then one thing to led to another. She ended up tied up and working for me. I had a lot of energy drinks that night, so I was a little all over the place.
It's all alleged.
Yeah. Nice. Anyway, next question. Is there any big events you're planning for the next year? Lanfear says, aside from my usual usual Friday and holiday events, I currently don't have anything big planned. A lot of events happen on short notice, so anything is a possibility in the future. I've been considering something like RP events, community events, game nights, maybe some contests or future giveaways. I recently held my first contest this last Halloween, which was a lot of fun, and I'd love to do more. One moment my shoelace was untied, next moment I was tied up. Sounds about right. Oh, also a reply about the art in the world. You missed that. My apologies. But yeah, I think there's a lot of events. You know, I'm really happy that you start doing your own events, like with art contests and things like that. Or what you did was a Halloween contest for like who has the best costume type thing. I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool, and I'm always down to collaborate with you, Lanfear, or any other people if you want to do something like that in this world. You know. The space is here. I'm always down to offer assistance. Well, let me take another drink. My throat always is like, I don't know if I have a sore throat or not. Apologies. Lanfear says, I'm the same. I'm always interested in getting involved with anything exciting. Next question. Thoughts on serious RP versus improv RP? Which do you prefer? Lanfear responds by saying, both have always been an interest of mine. They offer things that the other doesn't. Serious RP requires more time and commitment in time, while improv you can drop in, drop out whenever. It's light, often random, and where mostly everyone starts when getting into RP. I don't have a specific preference. I've been involved with both styles of RP and enjoy both of the experiences. Yeah, like I guess you could say in a way, like Rob's lobby is kind of like more improv-y, Where if you were to join something like Kalos Row or Ascension Academy, that's like more like serious RP, because you have to like make a character sheet, you have to like show up at specific times, and then it's like more serious because like there's like, you know, permadeaths and things like that. While Rob's Lobby is just sort of like show up to the lobby, make a character, and just have fun with it. Drop in, drop out. Kalos Row, you have to sign up like weeks, months in advance. Lanfear says, both styles I plan on pursuing more of. And you never know. Maybe you'll be interested in Kalos Row as an extra. I don't know. Anything's possible. I don't know any other like serious RPs besides like Ascension Academy, and maybe like I think Brunswick does some sort of like serious RP thing, like Adventure. It's like medieval or something. It's like Lord of the Rings or something. Maybe Curry Games. I'm not too sure who else like runs RP in VR chat, but it's definitely something for everybody. And that's what's interesting and cool, because it's also being a part of a community as well. So you get to make more friends, make some connections, you know, just have fun and be able to roleplay, right? Who would have thought that you'd be able to roleplay in like VR chat, a social game of all things, you know? Lanfear says, I have already been talking to Arcadum about the possibility of getting into Kalos Row and already have a character in mind. Can it please be a cat girl who runs like a cafe or something? Because that would be dope. Lanfear says he's just been so busy, so it's hard to discuss it further. It's a kitty bot, actually. Oh my god. Oh, it's the base that Gideon made. The kitty bot? Oh, it's a different kitty bot. Okay. Oh, change the camera angle. Lanfear's gonna change. Please. Holy shit. What the fuck? Yo, what? Oh my god. God damn. What? Look at this. Give some claps in the chat, some hearts. I've never seen this before. If you want to show it off properly, you can stand on that star on the stage, and then the camera will be in the front. Now look at that. All right, turn the 360 camera on. Look at this. Holy smokes. I'm kind of scared now. If I saw that in Kalos Row, I'm going to be like, what's up with this kitty bot? I don't know any of the lore or anything. As far as extras for 3.0, that's currently being worked on. That's awesome. Alright, you can switch back to front, Cam. Awesome. Look at that. Incredible. So nothing fancy yet? It's a work in progress. I wasn't expecting this, you know. I wasn't expecting to see like a sneak peek. Alright, we can continue the interview. That was cool, though. What's your Kalos Row name? That's her character for Kalos Row, I guess. Or like any like other RP stuff you wanted to. Because you can use the same model, obviously, for different things. You have to wait and see. Ooh. Listen, if I see that kitty bot running around, I'm going to be like, what's going on here? I don't know. There's no story here. It could be a corporation. It could be some secret corporate bot. It could be an assassin. It could just be some... Well, I don't think you would be like a wasteland bot because you look too fancy for that. So I think you're probably maybe some corporate bot that's secretly going to murder me in my sleep or something. I don't know. Up to no good, yeah? Uh-oh. I'm scared. Anyway. That was cool. Thanks for showing that. Next question. Any funny moments you remember in your adventures from VRChat in the past 3 years? Lanfear says, that's a really tough question to answer. There's so many memorable ones. The times with Joey and everyone was always a lot of fun and extremely funny. Neko Nights seemed to have some funny and interesting things happen pretty consistently. The crossover RP had a couple times where I couldn't help but laugh. Most recently, there was an adventure recording I was doing with Timac, and how he got caught by the chaps had me laughing for a long time. I would have to say the most memorable moments would be before Neko Nights was even created, and it was just the weekly estate parties. Some of the stories from there you wouldn't believe. One comes to mind of Assassin. This is also where I had to show a clip. So 1 second here. While I pull this up. Whoops. Alright, 1 second here. Alright, here it is. This is the clip that Lanfear sent. Let me mute my music. Whoops. Excuse me. Oh, 1 second here. Oh, God.
Close enough.
There we got it.
I thought we would get up to
My
it.
fucking parents are fucking knocked on my door.
Don't do it. He's gay.
Oh, they're like, oh, these.
Too much goddamn.
Such a fucking dumbass.
Fucking stupid.
You're so fucking dumbass.
It off.
Such a... Oh.
I of my own. It's old.
You can't have it.
They're beating him. They're beating him.
Not even a body pillow, just a pillow.
Can you imagine if you just heard aggressive smashes through his... What the fuck is going on?
They're beating his ass. Holy shit, look at that. They're actually beating his ass. They're actually beating his ass.
Oh, God.
What was it? What?
His parents are beating his ass right now.
Did he just say they're coming down or something?
So I think you guys saw that share.
Yeah, we saw exactly what happened. What the fuck?
So
Holy shit.
Oh, let me switch back here. 1 second here.
Close enough.
X out of that. There we go. Okay, we're good. Lanfear says, whoops, I need to scroll up in the chat here 1 second here, because I missed the message. And scrolling up in chat sometimes is a little difficult. No. Okay. So Lanfear says, I met him a couple times. These nights were always just crazy, even more than just anything you saw in Neko Nights. I love Assassin so much. So basically, to give context here, what it seems like is that, because I didn't watch it before, so I wanted to get like a fresh eyes on it. So it seems like Assassin, his parents were coming down probably to tell him to like be quiet or something like that. And he was like beating someone up. He was like fighting somebody, but he's muted. So like in real life, he's like struggling to fight with somebody. He's getting his ass beat. So it's kind of funny to see someone just like out of nowhere start like getting beat and like punched and, you know. Lanfear says he got in a fight with his parents. He came back and he said he won. Oh, shit. Damn, what the fuck? Yeah, that's why I'm moving out in 2 days. I don't have to fight my parents no more like that. What the hell? Anyway. Next question. You've been going on adventures with Timac recently. I heard from him that you and Timac used to RP or something years ago. Lanfear responds by saying, we used to be part of the same RP communities before I got into VR and VR chat. I never expected to see him again in VR chat, and it's been great catching up with him again and becoming friends, going on adventures and playing games together. Oh, I need to read this. Lanfear says that's all he seemed to care about. Then later that night, I believe he shot himself in the foot with a BB gun. Of course, yeah, what the fuck. Classic assassin. Anyway, so yeah, so Timac, I'll tell you a story. So I actually met Timac about 3 years ago in like December of 2017. He played VR chat. I knew him prior to this because I used to watch GTA RP, and he was also part of Arma 3 RP. where there's a bunch of streamers like Tyra One and stuff like that. So I remember I recognized his channel and his voice. So I remember that he started playing VR chat in like 2017, and actually I was his tour guide for VR chat about 3 years ago. And I was playing as desktop Kenny K Kona, and I was just showing him around VR chat. And one of the first things he asked me, I won't forget, was he asked me about like role play. Can you role play in VR chat? And I basically told him like not really. I mean like everything just improv. Like he told me like he asked me like, can you arrest somebody? Can you arrest someone like carry them around and stuff like that like in GTA or Arma? I was like, no, you can't do that. Because at this point in time, like Kalos Row, Forbidden Knowledge, none of that existed. Everything was just improv and just sort of like very scuffed. So I don't blame him for not playing the game anymore after that. He only played it for like a few days because it was like super hype at the time. But then obviously he came back, and here he is in Kalos Row playing as, I forget his character's name, but he's like a mobster. He runs like Mars Corp. So he came back when Seer and all the GTA boys came in to come to Rob's lobby, and they'll Tim Max back. And yeah, I explained all this, by the way, when I interviewed him a couple months ago. He's a great guy. I'm happy to see him return, and obviously he's invested into Kalos Row. He's also part of one of Arcadum's D&D's campaigns as well. Yeah. Type of headset I used Index. I'll take more questions from chat later on after I finish answering and all my questions to Lanfear, just to let you guys know. Lanfear says his first Friday party was quite the night. I don't think I drank that much before. Yeah, I watched the VOD like whenever it happened. I remember watching it, and like it must have been like 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was just you and Timac and like one other person or something, and you were all like drunk off your asses. I could tell 'cause you're not gonna falling over and shit. And he didn't know, he couldn't even stand properly. Lanfear says, I saw the clips the next day and had no idea what type of adventures we went on. Yeah, I believe it. I think it's awesome. I think it's cool, you know? He told me that, Tim-Mac told me that, like he only will like stream VR chat selectively, but he'll stream it probably just for like Kalos Row, which I think is good. I think like if you stream VR chat as much as I do, like every day, kind of gets boring and monotonous over time. But if you stream like VR chat like once a week or something for like RP reasons, or you know, for a planned event like going on a spooky map, I think that's more fun to do. Like I'm just crazy because I stream this game almost every day for 3 years, but I can definitely see some people like streaming VR chat and then getting bored. I remember you and I had a discussion, Lanfear, about like you getting into streaming, and you said like, well, what if we have like boring moments? You know, like what if when you stream, when you do a YouTube video, you can cut out all like the boring bits and then just have like post the good bits. I think for streaming, it depends on how you want to stream, right? Like I do interviews, so obviously I have a planned event, and this is what we're doing, but maybe you should just do something like that. Maybe like when you stream, you're just like, we're going to do this horror map. We're going to do this event. We're going to do whatever it is. Whatever event you do, that's the whole stream, rather than like just chilling for 6 hours in front of a mirror or whatever. What's up, Neth? I love you, Rebel. Hey, awesome. Can't wait to see a new outfit. That's just my suggestion when you get into like streaming, Lanfear, is like stream events that you want to do. Then you don't have like slow moments or moments where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yo, Brimstone, thanks for the raid. Lanfear says, yeah, I could be more selective about it. That's what I suggest. Just like stream events, hangouts. Maybe you stream like Friday nights at the cabin. I don't know. It's whatever you want to do. But I just think streaming events or parties or some sort of like scheduled thing you're doing, like maybe you stream an adventure, like you go on adventures of Timac, right? So maybe you stream your perspective as well. That's something you could do. Anyway, next question. Favorite world that you revisit that would be considered old and nobody visits anymore, and why did you choose that map or world? Lanfear responds by saying it's pretty easy for world to get lost into the menus, which makes updating on a regular basis all the more important. There's a few that I visit, but most recently I've been visiting and holding lobbies in the bright light world. It's a really beautiful rooftop club. Has a variety of music you can select to fit whatever mood you may be in, and what is just lovely. It could use some settings options like turning off chairs for one, but I don't think the world is supported anymore. I also spent quite a bit of time visiting all the different MMD worlds on a regular basis. I used to explore a lot of them. Lanfear says, if Timac ever commits to a day to do them, hey, I mean, you gotta convince him. You gotta use your charisma, you know? You gotta use your 10 out of 10 charisma stat, you know? Anyway, yeah, I think, like, that's the one sad thing. I went to Fells Memoria, which was, like, a really old map from, like, 3 years ago. It's no longer, it doesn't exist in VRChat anymore. What they've done is they replaced it with Fells Memoria HD, which is, like, an HD, like, upscale of the map, which, you know, I still want to go to the old version. Some old maps just don't work anymore, like Rave Robbie and stuff. Like, those are, like, old clubs. Don't work anymore, which is upsetting because it's like that part of history is gone. For example, I talked to Xeon, who made Gaia Knight. I told him personally, like, over a year ago to recreate or re-upload Gaia Knight and make it classic Gaia Knight, which is the old one from 3 years ago, because there's now 2 versions, right? There's, like, a super updated one, and then I told him to re-upload the old version. I had to do that. I went on my way to do that because I missed the old memories. So, yeah, thanks to me, I guess, the old rap is still around. Lanfear says a lot of those older maps had issues of converting to new Unity versions, or the unsupported ones should stop working. Absolutely. I said this yesterday, but yeah, a lot of old maps, when they went from 5.6.3 update to 2017 Unity build, it broke a lot of worlds. Like, I would say arguably like 90% of the worlds in this game busted like the day after, and they'll never get updated or get fixed. They just remove them because it's just broken. And it's up to the person who uploaded the map to update the game, or update the world so it works now, like with lighting and everything. But a lot of people quit, right? If the person's not there to update the world, then the world will get lost forever and just deleted and cease to exist, which is very upsetting. Next question. What do you think about my show Late Night Rebel? The last time you've been on was over a year ago. Lanfear says, I remember talking with you on a number of occasions back when you first started with the idea of a talk show, and I'm so happy to see you keep pursuing it and to see how it's evolved and grown from there. Seeing you branch off into events like fashion shows is fun to watch. I'm looking forward to see what else you'll do. Yeah, I like I said, I have a lot more ideas and stuff like that. They're just a work in progress, so eventually in the coming weeks and stuff like that, right now I'm moving houses, so kind of tied up with that. But once I'm done, I'm going to have a lot more freedom to do what I want, and I'm definitely going to start expanding this talk show and other events in the future. So by the time the new year begins, I should have a lot more ideas and concepts. Lanfear says, my estate world, for example, has parts of it that work in the project, but I can't touch them because they are broken. It's really old projects, so I'm limited to what I can do with the world. Lanfear says, I'm excited to talk to you more about your ideas and help if you need them. Ever need them. Absolutely, 100%. I'm only one person, but I have, like, Lofty and Dead Guy and Pixel, my mods in my chat, that help me out. I have Legends. You know, him and I work very closely on this talk show world, and I always have other people help me, like a Yumi. A shout out to her. She's a VTuber, and she comes by to help out with the fashion show, the Avatar Showcase. So I'm always down to collaborate and network and help with other projects and things like that. I'm always down. Next question. We're almost done with my questions, and we'll start taking questions in the chat. Animes you recommend to watch and why? And Lanfear responds by saying, "There's so many to choose from. From the sake of time, I'll limit myself to 3 suggestions: Steins Gate, Gary Zero, and Hellgirl. It's best to look into these series further than for me to really try and explain why and give spoilers. I enjoy all these series immensely." Gary, I don't know how to say REI. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm illiterate. But yeah. Next question. Thoughts on the big boom of VTubers and possible more players towards VR chat and online personalities? Would you be interested in VTubing? Lanfear responds by saying, that did explode from a handful of VTubers into what we see now. There was something similar that happened in VR chat with streaming. People were switching over from YouTube to Twitch, and more exposure to that platform encouraged others to try it, and the amount of people streaming VRC increased a lot. I can understand why, as it's a way to bring your VRChat personality with you into other games. It's something that's been largely adopted by those who started out with VRC, VRChat, and wanted to branch more into variety. That has brought more attention to the community itself and more people joining in or checking the game out. Getting into it does seem like it would be fun. However, it seems oversaturated. I don't really know enough about it and what's involved to really make a decision one way or another. Ray is like saying Ray? Oh, well, got Ray 0. I think I said that earlier, but anyway. Lanfear says I watch a lot of anime, or I used to. I said this yesterday when I was interviewing Oathmill, but I do agree. I do think that like becoming a VTuber is definitely a trend. Like, you know, when you see like a big YouTuber, streamer, whatever, get into it, a lot of people are obviously going to do as well. I gave some advice yesterday with the last interview, was that if you're going to get into it, you have to understand that it's a big time commitment. It's a lot of money, potentially like thousands of dollars for a 2D or 3D model. You have to understand what you're doing and understand that it's a lifestyle choice. And I mean, some people, you know, some people do VTubing half and half, where they'll still do IRL stuff, or they'll do some VTubing stuff when they don't feel like using a webcam. It really depends on the person. Obviously, I'm fully invested into representing myself by using an avatar, so obviously I was already doing that before VTubing was even a trend. But obviously there's new people, you know, jumping on and stuff like that. I think it's cool. I definitely I get the whole oversaturation thing, but it's just what you want to do, right? It depends on the person. So I'm always happy to see more exciting new people and stuff like that. To get into it, I mean, I don't think the setup is too hard. If you really want to get into it, Lanfear, like you just have to get Suva or Leopard or VC Face, and there's tutorials. It's not too hard. Like, you just buy like a Tobii eye tracker, which tracks your eyeballs, and then you can move your head. Or you get if you have an iPhone, you get like an app or something, and then like a face tracks or something. I don't know. It's some big brain stuff, but it's not too hard. There's definitely a lot of tutorials on how to do it. Obviously, you can use your avatar that you have here. There's a lot of different things. I don't know. There's so many different like aspects to like VTubing. It's kind of wild. Like, some people have some mutes like they'll talk, but they don't actually. But it's just like captions on the screen at the bottom of the screen. Some have like a speech bubble where like they're in desktop mode, so they have like a speech bubble next to their head, and then they'll like type something and it'll say like hello or whatever. Or they use TTS, you know, text to speech. So there's like so many different ways or methods, and it's just crazy what people get creative with it all. Lanfear says there's a lot to look into for sure. Absolutely. Next question. We're almost done here, guys. Just 2 more, and then we'll start taking questions from the chat. Next question. So, favorite classic game you go back into playing every so often? Lanfear says, I haven't really gone back and played any classic games for a while now. I haven't even gotten to ever increasing lists of games I need to play. However, one classic game I used to play quite a bit was Diablo. Do you mean Diablo 1 or do you mean Diablo 2? Lord of Destruction. That's an important question. 2 to 3? Hey, let's go. My childhood was playing Diablo 2 with my brothers when I was like in public school. Like, I would come home from school and boot up Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction, and I'll play my druid, you know? Good times. Hell yeah. That was a good time. And then over the years, I would continue to play like off and on. I made like a paladin and stuff. But anyway, last question here. Then we'll start taking questions from chat. What are you grateful for in regards to the VR chat community and your community? Lanfear responds by saying, there's so much, I'm not sure if I could list it all. The friends I have made that have stuck by me during the good times and the bad, the laughs, deep conversations, and random times. How welcoming, accepting, and open the community is, the overwhelming amount of support and love, the RPs I've been a part of, and helping create and develop these stories and lore. Most of all, the memories and experiences that will stay with me years from now. One comes to mind with Luxurium World that Joey and I went on a private tour with Lakuza. How in awe we were of the entire experience that wasn't even completed at the time. You're referencing the Final Fantasy, was it like, not, it's not 14, right? It's like 12 or something. Which one is it? Final Fantasy what now? It's basically like a whole map that's like a Final Fantasy, like you have like 50 like quests, and like if you do a quest, you like unlock avatars from the game. What's up, Snow Breeze? Lanfear says they were fun to play. Sorry, I didn't read that, but yeah, it's for Diablo. Anyway, we'll start taking questions from chat. So if anybody has any questions for Lanfear and I, or if Lanfear has questions for me, we'll start taking questions for the next little while. And then we'll wrap it up. Manhai says, one question. What does a typical day for you look like? As in, what do you tend to do on a typical day? Love you, Rebel. Love you too. That's my wife, who number 666 right there. I'll tell you what. Anyway, to answer your question, Mahai, what I typically do, well, I wake up in the morning, I eat some breakfast. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about the important part. So, for me, on an average day, in the mornings and afternoon, and even into the evening, I basically go around and try to find people that I want to communicate with through DMs, through Discord or Twitter, to organize future interviews and stuff like that. And then when I contact that person, I talk to them. Either they signed up through my interviewer Google form, or I contacted them personally, or vice versa, or whatever. I contact them, I talk to them, and then we get, let's see if they're interested. I have to flex my 100 speech skill to see if they're actually interested in coming on. Then I start doing research on that person. Once they say, yes, I'm interested in coming on, then I start doing research. I look at their Twitter. I look at their YouTube. I look at their Twitch. I look at their Legends page if they have that. I start watching clips. I start watching streams if they're a streamer. I do a lot of research into that person and start organizing and formulating questions that I write in a Google document. And then once I get a bunch of stuff that I want to talk to them about, some questions might be broad, some questions might be very specific to that person. Either way, I have a bunch of questions. Then once I'm all done that, I contact the person again. I say, hey, what days are you available at 7 p.m. EST? What days do you have? They got this day. All right, let's book it. Boom. And then that's basically what I do. And then I stream it and do the interview just like how I'm doing now. So that's my typical day. During the mornings and stuff like that, or afternoon, I like to play VRChat in desktop mode and just talk to friends or hang out with my waifus and whatever. That's basically what I like to do. I like to sometimes watch at late night when I'm off stream. I'll watch other people like Rob or whoever just streaming and just hang out in the chat and have a good time. That's typically my day. Lanfear says, at the time, that was such a unique and big world. It really was something. You're talking about the Final Fantasy thing? Yeah. It definitely was. I remember playing it with Whoops and everybody. It was crazy. Lan, will you finally stop encouraging my cat to attack me? Damn. Lanfear responds, oh, what's up, Ayla? Ayla Lamau. It's been a long time. How you doing? Lanfear says, well, I usually wake up, spend about 4 or more hours in Discord, video-related things, scheduling, and just putting all the behind, replying to DMs. Then I usually get in VRChat for roughly 12 hours, then hop off and do anything that needs to do. They came up during that time, then sleep for a few hours and repeat. Holy shit, you get in this game for 12 hours? I could barely manage 3 hours in this game anymore. I used to play this game maybe 8 hours 3 years ago, but my time is sort of been condensed. Lance says, I stand in solidarity with the choices the cat makes. Haha. All the behind the scenes things. Add a few 15 to 17 hour days in VR. My god, you must have like the, we call it like the super trackers and like the batteries and all that stuff. Both you and Rebel and Lanfear's thoughts on Sansar, the VR version of Second Life slowly being developed. Now, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that like canceled or some shit? Was that the other one? I forget. There's one of the social games that literally got canceled. I don't remember if that was Sansar or the other one. But what I think about Second Life making a VR game, well, judging from what I've seen over the last couple of years from Sansar specifically, at one point they tried to pay me money to play the game, and I respectfully declined. But I don't know. It seems to like have a lot of like microtransactions related to it. A lot of like you have to pay money to do things. I don't like that aspect. Is it a true competitor to VRChat? Not really, because if it was a true competitor, everyone would be playing it rather than VRChat. So I think there's better better alternatives like Chill Out VR or Neos VR or an up and coming one that I've talked to recently. Some of the devs with Helios, which is made with the Unreal Engine, not Unity. So for Sansar, I don't think it's really gonna take off, but who knows, right? My money is betting on Gary's Mod 2. That's the game that I think would take over. Well, I don't know if it'll take over VR chat, but you know what I mean. Like, it'll be a competitor of some kind. Lanfear says, I don't really know anything about that. I haven't really looked into it. That's because VR chat's life. You know, you don't have to worry about these other games. I've definitely done research on a lot of them, but right now they're not even comparable like to VR chat in terms of just players or stuff like that. Some of them have cool features like Neos VR. You can build live, like you can work on an avatar while in Neos, which is cool, like live editing. So like I can click on your avatar and then like edit like your hair or something like that. That's cool. Chill Out VR is like very similar to VR chat, but it has more like features that should just be in the game. But again, Chill Out VR only has like 10 players. Neos has maybe 50 on a good day. What's the other one? Helios has like, I don't know, less than 5 because it's just super early access. And what was the other one? I said Neos, Chill Out. I don't even know anything about Release Sand, so I haven't checked that one out. Following on an earlier question, when did you have time to do anime on the regular? Do you have a particular genre or show type that you enjoyed? I mostly just read manga myself. That's like I don't really have time for anime. It seems like I can read like a chapter or two. I just take like 5-10 minutes at night before I go to bed and just read something. Like I read like Prison School and stuff like that before it even was an anime. Anyway, Lanfear says Neo seems very user unfriendly with the menus. I do agree as I played it. And just how you do anything. I think when it comes to something like Neos, you either have to be someone who's like, like a builder. If you're someone who's like into building avatars or worlds, then you're gonna have a blast. If you're someone who's just there to like party or just talk to somebody, like socialize, then I think you're gonna have a lot tougher time. I think Chill VR might be the one that's more to like geared towards VR chat players because like the menus and the system is kind of similar to VR chat, so. Wasn't there other one called Lavender? Yeah, it was. And then Lavender became a $20 game that no one plays. I played Lavender. I was like probably the only one who ever streamed Lavender to like 20 people early this year. And I got a beta key, and then the guy who made Lavender randomly revoked all the keys and basically forced you and said, you must pay $20 to play my game now, even though it's like 1% built. And I was just like, what the hell is that trash? And then I stopped playing that game and even looking at it. So there's Lavender for you. Neff says, issue with Neos is no one ever is there to chill. It's always just deving. Well, when I stream to play Neos, there definitely was a feeling of a lot of people that played Neos were like making stuff. They weren't there to be like, hey, let's drink, dude, or whatever. Like they were there like, I'm building something right now, type of vibe. So I think that's why I say like Neos is more like a building game first. It's builders first, chill second. You know, that's the way I see it as right now, currently. Just joined the stream. Planning to buy a Quest 2 and was hoping to know how easy it is to link into my computer. I don't own a Quest 2, but I think YouTube tutorials would be your best bet. I just think if you want to link it, I think you just like, if you want to like use the PC aspect, don't you just buy a cable or something that comes with it and you just connect it to the headset to the PC, like via HDMI or whatever. I don't think it's too hard. Lavender is VR chat but 3 years behind. Yeah, true. That says Neos also had terrible full body, like the hip movie moves like grandma for a hip. And this is her walker. Well, all I gotta say about like Neos and other social games is obviously they're very early, right? Like they haven't been designed or developed like VRChat has for years. Like Neos has only been around for like a year, maybe a bit. Chill VR is even younger than that, of like less than a year. So I definitely think in maybe the next couple years, maybe Neos or Chill might have a foot in the door in terms of competition. But right now, they're not so much like, you know. I think Chill Out is for people that want to see a little bit more from VRChat. From what I've seen, it definitely seems to be a little bit better in terms of like optimization because it's using like a newer Unity engine. You can like have filters, so you can like turn off certain people's avatars. You can like affect like the camera, or not the camera, the mirrors. So you can like lower the resolution of a mirror. It's really cool. But I don't know if a lot of people, like thousands of people, are just suddenly quit VRChat to play or Chill Out. I just don't see it right now. Maybe in the future though. Vice says, Neo's full body tracking when I saw it was way ahead. Yeah, because it had like more tracking. It had like elbow, knee tracking, and like 11-point tracking. It also had face tracking, and also so I had eye tracking and mouth tracking, which is definitely really cool. That says, yeah, but I know it's bad for hip movement. I played for a few months with the hip move, like I was bored. I think the camera aspect of Neos is really important. Yeah, because in Neos VR, when you use the stream camera, you can like make it so it follows you around like a third person, or you can also make it follow select people. So I can make the camera follow Lanfear as she's walking around and like do like a cinematic thing. It's kind of cool. Mahai says, Lan, here's a bit of a personal question. If you had to pick only one, what would you say is the largest impact VRChat has had on your life? Did it help in some way, like with meeting people? Lanfear says, unrelated. With those games, it all depends on the community behind the game. Eye tracking is insane? Yeah. I hope for eye tracking to be in VRChat one day. Neos VR is good for dancers too? Yeah, I believe. I've seen some people dance in Neos VR. Also, you can take questions from the audience too if Vice, if you just want to talk. I know nobody's will type, maybe. Eye tracking in VRChat is definitely a plus. Yeah, I mean, like, well, the only headset that has eye tracking is the Vive Pro that has the built-in Tobii eye tracker, which you had to buy, with like as an exclusive thing. I don't know if they still sell it. I guess you could buy it off eBay or something. I have the Index, which doesn't have that, but it would only work in specific games, and one of them would be Neos. So when I saw some people with the eye tracker and it actually worked, that was really cool. But like, you have to go out your way to play Neos, right? And like, unless you know what I mean? Like, you have to convince people to play Neos to then have that feature, if that makes sense, right? Like, I'm a talk show host. Do my whole show in VRChat. You know, I can't suddenly be like, oh, I'm going to Neos. All my guests have to suddenly start playing Neos VR. I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. Snow says, when will you send me back to Crumpet? It's $700. What's up? Vice?
It's not happening. They signed the contract.
Okay, well, GG. Lance says, I would have to say VRChat has allowed me to be more social with people. I normally am a very quiet and shy person, but I've been able to break out of the shell because of my experiences with VRChat and the amazing community. Pog. When did we start? It was like 7:40 or 7:50, right? I forget now. I think it was 7:50. I'm just looking at the time, making sure. Snow says, such silly things. She doesn't mean, yeah. So adorable, Lance says. 50 minutes early was when we started. So, we started at 6:45. It's now 7 or 8 o'clock. So, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. Just making sure.
Oh, Snow, you wanted to get back to the crumpet at the house so you could finish eating. That's what you meant to force.
Any more questions from chat? For Lanfear and I, or if Lanfear wants to ask me something. Lanfear says, so such a lovely tour of the estate and her new living situation yesterday. Pog. If, well, I'm going to go pass out, Rebel, and chat. I love you guys. Bye. Alright, see you later. Where's the rest of the audience? Oh, it's exclusive. We had to pay a lot. They had to pay a lot of money to be in here. What do you mean? Also, it's COVID-19, don't you know? Like, quarantine, lockdown? Like, come on. What do you mean? Is there a party this Friday? There's always a party every Friday. What do you mean? Lanfear says it was adorable. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. No doubt in my mind. Endless party, 12-hour VR chat? Heck yeah. Lanfear says, my name I got from a book series I read and really enjoyed. Heck yeah. What book? Wheel of Time? I don't think I've ever read that book. You missed one of the questions, my odds? Well, if they can repost it. Sorry, like, on Excess Overlay, it's kind of hard to scroll up sometimes with Twitch. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just struggling. What?
Lanfear got it already.
Oh, what was the reasoning behind your name?
Yeah,
Okay, I already got it. Lanfear says it's a long series and can have some parts that drag on. Alright, we'll take another question or two, and then we'll wrap it up. Any more questions? Any more? This is your opportunity to ask the queen, the one and only Lanfear, a question. Or me. Or if Lanfear has a question for me. Ask anything. I'll be honest. 100%. No doubt.
Lance, Snow wants to know what her allowance is going to be for the outfit we're going shopping for later.
Who's your number one simp? Me? Pfft. Dude, I don't got no simps.
Noted.
Lanfear says, however much she needs. $1 million. Diamonds everywhere. Diamond plated dress. What do you mean? What size shoe do you wear? Me? Like 10 and a half. Lanfear says, I always wondered what your first impressions of me was back during the crossover, Rebel. And if that changed and how. Well, when I first met you was when I was Kenny K. Kona role-playing a character every single day. And when I first got into the role play, we're referring to as Club Rogue Season 4. That was May/June of 2018. So that's been, 2 years, almost 2 years and a half now that started or happened. What I think about that, or how my thought process. So I didn't really know who you were back then. I didn't know anything about you. All I knew from gathering from other people in and out of roleplay was that there was something to do with. It was like a love triangle between you, Nags, and Chips, and there's like that's what the whole RP like thingamajiggy was about or something. And I was just thrusted in it. The only reason I was even there was because prior to that RP even happening, Chips like just got over like some sort of like RP arc of like season 3, like some harem or something, and I joined him at Silent Beach, and I was just there, and then Miss Minerva invited me to join the Club Rogue and told me like before Chips would get into the lobby that was like RP or something, and I was just like, all right, sure, because like I never really did RP before that, so I was just a goofy character. I was like, what's going on, bro? Hell yeah, woo! Like I was just screwing around the whole time. So when I first saw you in Oath, I just was very confused. I was just like, I don't understand what's going on here, but I'm just going to be goofy and silly and just I don't know. Like I didn't get it. I thought the whole thing was a bit bizarre, but I mean, I was in the middle of like I guess like the Twitch side and the YouTube side like clashing and meeting with each other, and it was an interesting opportunity. So in the back of my mind, I knew that this could potentially be something to be able to meet more people of the community, because obviously I feel like the YouTube side and the Twitch side never really did anything until this point. So I don't know. It's definitely a lot of fun. Like, there's definitely times where I'd probably like mess with you and just say something stupid. Like, I did it to Chips a lot, where like they would like have like they would go into like the red room, whatever the hell it was called, and then they would do like some serious like conversation, and then and then like out of nowhere, I just be like, brother, just your damn dancers. Like, I would just be stupid. I would just say the most dumbest shit that nothing related to the RP. I'd just be talking about dancers and like I mean, I brought like Jakey to the lobby and like dancers, like full body dancers and stuff, and I don't know, it was just fun. Lanfear says it was always really fun interacting with you. A lot of funny moments. You had a detective character one day where you would draw and you spent like 5 minutes drawing something, and then when you showed it, it actually erased it, and your response was so funny. Oh yeah, I did do that. Yeah, I had a character that was for Ascension, or not Ascension. Okay, that was for Forbidden Knowledge. At the time, Arcanum was running before Callous Rule was Forbidden Knowledge, and my character was a detective, and my good friend. Oh god, Miko, I think his name is. He doesn't really play VRChat anymore, but anyway, he made avatars, and he made me this detective avatar that had a gun on it, and or no, it wasn't. It was him and a person named Nave who quit VRChat years ago. I still have the avatar. It has like a notepad on it, and with this pen, I can actually write on it, and other people can use their finger. And if I use the avatar now, it doesn't work anymore. By the way, it's busted. It's broken for like years. But basically, I could write on this notepad. So I would like make up like fake notes, and I would like write up like random stupid bullshit. So I'll just start like drawing like Stickman or like just dumb like crude drawings, and I'll just like show people it, and people laugh because I'm just like they think I'm taking like serious notes, but I'm just like drawing dumb things, and then sometimes I'd accidentally erase it. So yeah, good times. So yeah, there's definitely, I don't know if there's any clips of that because I deleted all mine, unfortunately, because of the DMCA, but I did save as many as I could. But there's definitely, I remember that time, just being a detective a few times, being silly and random. And then how do I feel about you now? I feel like you're definitely one of my good friends. I like going to the parties on Friday night as much as I can, despite having the whisper. And this Saturday, I'm going to be moving out. So not this Friday, but next Friday, I should be able to actually talk and not have to whisper. Like, hey, let's go, And also, I was the manager at Nickel Nights when that was a thing, and that was fun. I tried to like run an RP there at one point, but it didn't really work out because like you can't like mix like drinking and then like RP. I think that's a bad mix, so I learned my lesson with that. But overall, I think it was a fun time. You know, if I didn't go to that crossover episode to like meet with Nags and be a part of all that, I don't know if you would be sitting where you are today. To be honest, I don't know if that actually would happen or not, because shortly after or during the crossover episodes is when I would met you, and then I would go to the estate parties, and then I would start meeting like people like Vice, or I would start meeting people like Crumpster and Emmett and everybody else. I would have never met any of those people if it wasn't for that crossover episode or season, or what do you want to call it. So that's what I have to say about that. I'm very grateful. It was a fun time. Hopefully people enjoyed my character. I think some people did, some people didn't. I don't know. There's definitely some people that are probably like, this guy's a weirdo. What is this RP? Like what? Because everybody was very serious during the RP, and I was like a comedy relief, like dumb character that was just like, why am I even here? But the moral of the story is, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have met Lanfear. I wouldn't have met Nags. I wouldn't have met Oathmeal. I wouldn't have met half the friends that I have today. So I'm grateful that I was able to meet them and hang out with them, and they're my friends. So very happy. If you believe it, Vila is still running it. Yeah, like they do like an RP thingy with like Neko Knight still apparently. Yeah, I believe it. I'm not a part of any of that though, but I get what you're saying. Lanfear says they're always the ones you'll remember. Yeah, you're a real homie. A real true friend. 100%. I don't know, it was just a weird time, like meeting so many people. It was like the biggest like networking opportunity, like meeting all these YouTubers, because I definitely at that time I felt there was tension between the Twitch side and the YouTube side. And whenever I talked to, here's the interesting thing, when I talked to other people that were on the Twitch side that weren't in the RP, a lot of them were not interested at all. They're like, why would I talk to these YouTubers for? Who's this Nags guy? Who are these people? I don't even care. Let's continue doing whatever we're doing. And I was one of the few people that was like, I see an opportunity here. And I asked people during that time, I was like,
look,
why don't you guys
sub
want to
to add to
join
my
this like RP
collection.
thing? You just show up and just have
Happy
fun.
3 months.
You know?
Always a joy watching your content and interviews.
Hey, thank you so much, Pop Tarts. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the 3 months. But yeah, there's just a lot of people at that time. I remember it that some people were just not interested. They're like, I don't want to meet these people. And I was just like, why not? I think it's a cool opportunity to meet other individuals, right? Like, don't get me wrong. If you want to hang out with your like 5 friends every day, then go right ahead. But I'm always down to meet new, interesting people. And at that time, going to the RP, I got to meet like 50 or 100 new people, literally. So it was definitely worth it. And I got to go to the state party all the time. I got to go to all these different events and all these different things. And because of that, I actually got invited back for when they did like the season 4.5 or whatever it was called, like Sora's RP or whatever it was called. And now it's Ascension Academy. Technically, I'm not in Ascension Academy because I never signed up like technically for it, but I could have if I wanted to. So there's a lot of opportunities that at least I took that I was interested in doing. Lanfear says, I saw it as a way for the community to intermingle and become closer, and since then it sparked so many things. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, how many of those people from that RP still play VRChat, or at least got into the Twitch side of it, right? So many of them were YouTubers, and now a lot of them are on the Twitch side of things. Even if they don't play VRChat anymore, a lot of them are now streamers. And a lot of them are my good friends that I talk to. I'm always interested to meet new people. Always fun to go to Lanfear's party on Friday. Absolutely. Anyway, let me take another drink. My throat's like, it's dying. Excuse me. We'll take like one more question, I guess, and then we'll wrap it up. Lanfear says a lot of the YouTubers transition over to Twitch shortly after that. Then there's groups that formed from it, like Purple Lotus and some of the others. Yeah, absolutely. I used to go to Purple Lotus in the early days. Not so much anymore because I'm too busy with my other stuff. But yeah, there's like so many opportunities for people to meet each other, and it was like there's so many people that created RPs or friendships or even relationships, like dating and whatever. Like it was a huge opportunity for a community to finally come together, right? Like we're not at each other's throats being like, oh, screw you, you're a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. Like no, like people came together because of that moment and got to meet each other for the first time and actually be a part of something and intermingle and create all these RPs and friend groups and whatnot. It was definitely a huge moment for VR chat content creation. Question for Lane: you like rock music? Lanfizz, even Ascension Academy? Yeah, a lot of people in Ascension Academy are from the YouTube side or the Twitch side. It was definitely a huge thing. This is listen to a lot of different types of music. But yeah, one more question and then we'll wrap it up. Any questions in the audience? Chat? VR chat was the best thing that happened to me. I love the community so much. I have friends I hang out with way too late every night now. Makes me so happy. Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for VR chat, I wouldn't be where I am today. I probably wouldn't be a streamer. I barely did YouTube. So I would just probably just be in college, getting a regular 9 to 5 job and just doing whatever. But because of VR chat, here I am today interviewing people in VR. Who would have guessed, 3 years later. Curry's the anime protagonist within AA. It's priceless. Yeah, I've watched a little bit. It's funny. Curry Games is a really interesting, funny guy. What game, Lush Fox, what games have you thought about exploring as of late with many new titles being released? Lanfear. Everyone in AA does a great job for their RP sessions. Yeah. Same thing. Like I don't do AA, I'm more of the Callus Row side, but Assassin's Academy is great and wonderful. Wait, you clipping my own stream and showing me the audience? Yeah, I know. Some audience, sometimes when I stream, I have a bigger audience. Sometimes I don't. All I gotta say is COVID, Lanfear, I've been enjoying playing Phas or Phasmophobia a lot recently. I don't get a chance to really play many other games other than VR chat. I've been considering Baldur's Gate and some other VR games. Baldur's Gate is the D&D one. Baldur's Gate and some other games. I've also been talking to Timac about some games we can collab together on the side from our usual adventures. Yeah, they're just invisible. What do you mean? All my audience are invisible because of optimization, okay? Don't worry about it. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think we'll start wrapping it up here because that was like the last question, right? So, Lanfear, if there's anything you would like to say in conclusion, type in the chat and I'll read it out, and then we'll wrap it up here. I'll wrap up the interview. We'll go raid somebody, and then we'll take a photo, and then you're free to go. And then I'll probably hop around VR chat. Baldur's Gate 3 is really good, but not finished game yet? Yeah, it's early access. I'm not really in... Like, I never played D&D before, like any D&D games or even D&D itself, I'm definitely interested in trying it out. It's just it's a big time commitment. Like, I'm busy doing my thing, but when I have free time, I'd like to do D&D at some point, at least once in my life. I'd love to do it. I'm open to the suggestion. Maybe some people from VR chat, maybe some friends, VTuber friends. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I know Arcadum runs like 9 campaigns, so he's really busy. But if you ever had like an opening, I'd love to be DM'd by him. I think he's a great guy. Save Snow Rebel? What do you mean? I think Snow's perfectly fine. I don't know what you're insinuating. Oh, hell yeah. Sorry, I was reading a DM. Oh, I'll talk about it in a second. Lanfear says, thank you everyone for being so supportive of Rebels Talk Show as well as my new ventures with my videos on Friday nights. It means a lot to me and helps motivate me to try new things. Give me some hearts in the chat for Lanfear. Awesome. DMs during a live show. Listen, alright? I was waiting for you to type, so I just wanted to look. Alright, it was important. Okay, I'll tell you what it was, okay? It was Legends. He was DMing me, and he was telling me that he was working on an update for this world, alright? If you really want to know. That's what I was basically going to say anyway. He's updating this world. So, by the next time that I do an interview or like a talk show, which would be sometime next week, we should have the actual 1.0 of this world finished. So that DM was related to this talk show. I'm multitasking, alright? I don't normally ever look at DMs when I'm interviewing, just to let you know. I did it because I know it's concluding, and I knew it was important. Anyway, I'll wrap it up. So, thank you everybody for stopping by for this talk show, for this interview of Lanfear again. Thank you so much. Hearts in the chat for Lanfear for showing up again, being a part of this talk show again. I really do appreciate it. You're more than welcome to join for another interview down the road. I do have an idea or a concept of doing some sort of like mute podcast. I don't know when it will be. It's in the works, but you're more than welcome to join for something like that. Thank you so much, everybody. If you haven't already, join my Discord. Follow me on Twitter. You can check out my old YouTube channel, which has all my old VODs, so exclamation point interviews for that, or exclamation point talk show. Those will give you the links to all the VODs and all the stuff which has been transferred to YouTube because of Twitch DMCA, which is stinky. Anyway, if you haven't already, hit that follow button to go know when I go live. I don't know when I'll be streaming next. It might be Friday, which is tomorrow, for Callous Road, but like I said before, I'm moving in the process of moving houses, so I don't want to I don't know when the next interview will be. More than likely next week sometime, which will be the next interview. I don't know with who. I have to organize it. I'm in the process of focusing on moving. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for all the follows, the subs, the bits, the money, everything, donatos, all that stuff. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're going to go raid somebody. Lanfear, do you have any suggestions for who I should raid? If not, I'll just pick someone from VR chat. Do you want it in VR chat or any game? I mostly just pick, like when I pick people, is usually when I raid somebody, it's usually someone who's smaller. Because I like to give back to the community, so I like to just host somebody or one of my friends. Like if it's someone I know, maybe from the Gator lobby or something like that. That's usually what I do. I'll link you someone who's a part of the community but is playing something else. Sure, absolutely.